We live in a world that rarely slows down. Our days are filled with constant scrolling, non-stop notifications, deadlines, responsibilities, and pressures that never seem to end. Fear, worry, stress, and anxiety try to crowd our minds until we feel overwhelmed mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. But overwhelm is not the only place we are meant to live. God invites us into a different place, a holy place where the noise begins to fade and the chaos loses its grip on our hearts. It is the place of stillness. Stillness is not emptiness. It is not withdrawal. It is a sacred posture of the heart where we release control, quiet our own striving, and lean into the presence of God. It is where our heartbeat begins to align with His peace again. In that quiet place, we surrender our agendas. We stop forcing our own timing. We rest in the arms of the God we trust with our whole lives, and we discover that stillness is not weakness, but spiritual strength. Psalm 46 verse 10 says, "Be still, and know that I am God." For many of us, we have recited this verse quickly and in one breath, but its power lies in its rhythm. There is a first command and a second revelation. First, be still. Then, know that I am God. The assurance in the second half, knowing God's sovereignty, His power, His wisdom, and His presence, can only be truly experienced when we obey the first half, when we choose stillness. Stillness opens the doorway to understanding who God truly is. It reminds us that He is in control when we are not. When stillness becomes more than a verse we quote and instead becomes a discipline we practice, it changes the posture of our hearts. It shifts our reactions in moments of fear and uncertainty. It strengthens our faith when everything around us feels unstable. Stillness does not mean inactivity. It means trusting that God is working even when we cannot see movement. Throughout the Bible, God teaches His people through moments of stillness. When the Israelites stood trapped between the Red Sea and Pharaoh's army, fear began to rise. But God spoke through Moses, "Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord." God did not tell them to panic, run, or fight. He told them to stand. Stillness was not about doing nothing. It was about positioning themselves to witness God's glory. Then we see Elijah weary, discouraged, and hiding in a cave after great spiritual battle. God did not meet him in the wind, or the earthquake, or the fire. Instead, He spoke in a gentle whisper. God reminded Elijah, and reminds us, that His presence is often found, not in the dramatic, but in the quiet. Sometimes stillness is where God restores our weary souls. Sometimes it is where clarity replaces confusion. Sometimes it is where God reminds us that He is nearer than we thought. Stillness deepens intimacy with God, because it allows us to hear Him without distraction. Stillness is not limited to ancient stories. It is a discipline we are called to practice today. Stillness may look like putting down the phone and lifting our hearts to God. It may look like pausing in prayer instead of rushing into a decision. It may sound like a quiet whisper, "Lord, I trust You, even when I don't see the answer yet." Stillness is choosing trust over panic. It is refusing to let emotions outrun faith. It is removing our hands from what only God can fix. Stillness is waiting without fear, believing that God's timing is wiser than our urgency. Isaiah 40 verse 31 reminds us that those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. Waiting is not wasted. It is strengthening time, refining time, aligning time. In stillness, God prepares us so that when He moves, we are ready. Stillness is worshiping while we wait. It is faith in motion even when our bodies are still. When we practice stillness as a lifestyle, our hearts begin to experience peace where fear once lived. We respond differently in moments of crisis. We stop trying to control what belongs to God. Stillness says, "Lord, I trust Your plan more than my anxiety. Lord, I believe You are working, even when I cannot see it. Lord, I choose surrender over striving." As we quiet our hearts, God moves. As we release control, God strengthens us. As we remain still, God is at work. So today, choose stillness. Choose trust. Choose surrender. Allow your soul to rest in the presence of the God who holds your life in His hands. Because in stillness, we do not lose control. In stillness, we give control back to the one who never fails.